I was reading these stories about the Lauri Markkanen deal that he just got since we last spoke. We knew that the date was coming up. You know, there was a date that he was going to have to hit to where he couldn't be traded for a year if he signed after whatever it was, the 6th or whatever it was. So the actual signing of the contract was, in all intents and purposes, give him a 1 year, no trade clause. It's like if he signed it then, it was going to be this assurance that, okay, I'm not getting traded, because his name had been out there quite a bit over the course of the last couple of months. Man, what they pulled off, the marketing team is pretty crazy, because he's going to get paid now, what, $42 million, I think it said, this year instead of $18 million. So he got that 24, and then in the life of the contract, it's what he signed for, like $238 instead of $250. So that's only 12 difference than the full-on max, but he's getting 24 more in this first year. And I wondered what you thought about the direction of this. He didn't take any kind of a haircut. His contract is a typical ascending contract that we see many times that is signed. To me, I guess I just looked at it and go, you know what? It feels, tell me if this sounds fair. This feels like the SGA contract years ago with Oklahoma City, where it's like, we have this young player that we think is a great player in the league. We want him as part of whatever we're going to build out with. And we're now making him secure so that next year, when he's not hitting these bonuses, when he's not making all NBAs, because we're just tanking our ass off to get Cooper Flagg, he's going to be cool with it. And if we sit him the last 30 games, he'll be cool with it. Because this is what they did with SGA, right? They would just shut him down, and they did it for a while. So they make the guy whole. And then, I mean, the trick to that is you got to build up fast enough to where you do get, you got good young players, and you've got the SGA character. But I think it feels like they're doing that on their level with Markkanen. And I don't know, like SGA is like a superstar level player. I don't know if Markkanen is a superstar level player, but that's how this felt as I read it, because they're for sure not going to compete next year. They've got like a top 10 protected that's going elsewhere. There's zero chance they're not going to be good, and they're not going to try to be good. They're going to try to be bad for good reason. If they hit the lottery. What'd you make of it? It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money, but they're obviously got him in mind long term, is what it kind of seemed to me.
I think Keith Smith, who's a really good cap expert, posted on X his thought about the nature of the way that salary is structured. You mentioned how it's ascending, except for 1 year. It takes a slight dip in the 26-27 season when it goes from $46.4 million to $46.1 million. And Keith Smith noted how that's intriguing because the Utah Jazz that summer only have a couple other guys on the salary books. So that will be the final year of the rookie deal for, say, Keontae George, right? So he'll be a restricted free agent in the same way that Tyrese Maxey was this year for Philadelphia. We see what Philadelphia did with all of their cap space, adding Paul George and a host of other guys with the structure of Maxey's cap hold. So I think the Utah Jazz, that 26-27 season, it's pretty clear, assuming they still have Markkanen then and they don't trade him for a haul, that's the summer they're targeting to go big. And that's my main thought that I have to add on to everything you correctly said, that the Jazz are going to suck. They're going to tank. They're going to try to add some great talent in the drafts. They're going to try to develop.
As they say, I'm 5 pockets full.
Exactly.
So I'm good.
Right? Exactly. Lauri Markkanen is all in. His family loves it there. They're happy there. That's where they want to be. That's why he signed the deal. But ultimately, the Jazz, from a franchise perspective, I think they're targeting that 27 offseason rather the 26 offseason for making deals, or the 27 offseason.
And maybe that's why it played out the way it did, right? I know there's a minimum you have to hit, but it's a lot easier to say, you know what, bro, we're going to give you $42 million this year instead of 18. Just, the score, be cool.
It's like, yes, please.
Right?
Sometimes that's all it takes. A little bit of a
because there's a lot of guys that be like, what the hell? I'm not sticking around for this shit. Like, I'm not even playing. I'm wasting a year in my prime. And the same way SGA was cool about it. Right?
Yeah.
And then they built that around. So you just got to kind of find that guy that's cool with that and just say, trust the process. Because some of these guys just get so ultra competitive, or they feel like they're leaving money on the table by being part of, right, a team that's not willing to compete. But if you give somebody all the money in the world, like they would have made if they were trying to compete.
Also, he's playing the best basketball of his life
For
under
sure.
Will Hardy. I mean, he has elevated his play to a whole new level in that Jazz system. He's worth the money for Utah in ways that he might not be on a different team. But for the Jazz, he is in a perfect spot. The team should get better in the coming years. They have so much young talent aside from him. I mean, Markkanen himself he's still only 27 years old. He's entering prime years, but it's not like he's 32 at this point. He's still only 27. You got Keontae George, who really was great to end his rookie year. Taylor Hendricks, we'll see what he can do with more opportunity this year. Good incoming rookie class. Bryce Sensabaugh from last year too.
Oh, hey, look, if you love player development, you're going to get it in Utah, because
sure are.
They are going to be rolling out a team of 19-year-olds some nights.
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah Collier is going to get minutes this year, I would think. Who
was the other one besides Collier they got this year?
Cody Williams, who is very
Cody
raw.
Williams.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
I mean, I like the swings, that Zanuck and Ainge took from the front office. I think they're on the right track. It's just going to take a while, and you want it to take a while, as loaded as the 25 and 26 draft classes are.
Yeah, it's going to be funny when you're going to like a Tuesday night game against the Jazz, and I'm texting you about seeing Isaiah Collier, Cody Williams, and Kyle Filipowski.
Yeah,
right?
Crazy.
Out on the court with Keontae George and Taylor Hendricks. It's like, bro, this could be a college team. In fact, this is younger than the UConn team.
Yeah.